Music Hath Charms is an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon from 1936. This is directed by Walter Lantz, written by Lantz and Victor McLeod, and we have Bernice Hansen providing voices. And I didn't care for this one. It was okay to begin with, but then it went off in a direction that just didn't entertain me at all. It starts off with some characters playing what they refer to as hillbilly music, and I quite like the sound of it. Oswald, however, wanted to play jazz music on his saxophone. And I will say the saxophone is very well animated. There's this point where it seems to be like flying through the air, and it's beautifully done. That part I thought was rather appealing. And they keep trying to tell him to play their music, not his music. And then some insects come along and they create various formations, and we have a kind of battle of the music, if you like. And it's an interesting enough concept. There's nothing wrong with the idea. And the animation itself is not badly done. As I mentioned, there are certain bits that I thought were actually not too bad. And Oswald is in it, a reasonable amount. He's in other cartoons a lot more, but he's in it enough for me to be happy that this is called an Oswald cartoon, because sometimes he's barely in them. But he's in this enough. But I just found that after about the first 2 minutes or so, basically once we got to the insects, so it might have been a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but once that happened, I just didn't care for the direction it took. I wasn't that interested in the narrative. The music was still okay, and the animation style is still absolutely fine, but the direction the narrative went in, I just found to be rather dull. So it's not bad as such, it's just not interesting. It might appeal to some people more than it did to me, but personally, after a pretty strong beginning, it wasn't the best beginning, but it was okay to begin with. It definitely went downhill for me. Do I recommend it? Yes, if you're an Oswald fan and you haven't seen it, by all means, give it a go. It certainly is watchable, but if you're just looking for a fun cartoon, then there are many, many others I'd recommend before this. Music Hath Charms is not terrible, but I didn't particularly enjoy it.